Hey, look, YouTube, I'm gonna try to get through this abomination of a fucking video as fast as possible. I know I said I wouldn't talk more about genital mutilation anytime soon, but I really did think I made a good video that I wanted to upload because on the other site that I was trying to use, you have to do upload and uploading properly. So then I actually tried to upload it here, but it wasn't working right. There was something wrong with it, and I'm not sure what the hell was going on there, and it was acting weird, so I just deleted the damn thing. I'm just going to try to give you as best of an interpretation of the video that I already made that I tried to upload somewhere else. It didn't work, that I then tried to upload here that didn't work. Well, I don't think it was working. I'm not sure what the deal is. And the other site did take one video I made about this yesterday, but I really just wanted to make this fucking video, and this is my best interpretation of that. And as you can see, I have no at all. Anyways, I have no bottled liquor. It's not that I haven't been drinking. I'm just trying to look a little bit more professional instead of like a complete idiot, and that's what I'm trying to do. And this is a subject we hear a lot about, as I have said before. And this is just me talking about something I'm concerned with, and if you're not, then so be it. But I want to make a video on this or whatever. But genital mutilation, and I wanted to explain this, so it's better I did just upload it probably, but I'm not sure if it'll be as good. But there's really no reason to circumcise your child. Okay, first off, again, like I said before, it can kill a kid, and it can castrate the kid, and it can there have been children that had to transition gender, not wanting to. Many grew up with depression, killed themselves, and everything else through genital mutilation. And one of the probably the dumbest arguments for it, even though there's plenty of dumb arguments, it's really hard to pick the dumbest one. But one of the dumbest arguments, and again, this is one of those numbers are going to see this, but one of the dumbest arguments for the procedure is a preventative procedure. But under that logic, then you would be removing other appendages from people to keep things from happening. Do you remove breast tissue from female girls, or for that matter, for babies? Do you remove breast tissue from either gender? Because breast cancer, especially on females, can be very high, but males also get it. You don't remove that. You're not removing anything from the female vagina, labia, or anything else. You're not removing tonsils. You don't remove many of the parts of the body that you would think you would remove if you were so worried about preventing the disease. And again, if you did remove all of that, first of all, your logic would be, hey, if you're going to prevent something else, you might as well just do all of this, because you don't know what the hell's going to cause a fucking problem later in life. I mean, there's no reason really to think of forcing it. I mean, that could be the least likely one. It probably is the least likely among some of those. And it's certainly less fatal than breast cancer, so I don't understand that. But beyond that, these preventative, as you call it, procedures don't like at what point do you draw the line before you're all a bunch of fucking mutilated freaks and are walking around looking like Night of the Living Dead? 1 minute. But how long before you're all walking around looking like a bunch of mutilated freaks and looking at the Night of the Living Dead? Beyond that, another reason that I'm a little bit more respectful of is religion. Simply because I guess you do have at least some kind of sincere belief in it, but I still don't support that. And I don't think what is in your book gives you a right to do something, no more than it gives me a right to run around doing various mischievous acts. If I read something in a book, I don't want to be too graphic, but let's say, hey, there was an ancient book that told me to run naked through the streets and try to have sex with farm animals. Would that give me a right? Would you be like, oh yeah, that's okay, you can go do that now? No, you'd be like, well, that's ridiculous, what's wrong with you? And this is not going to be as good of a video as the other one, but either way, it just didn't work. Maybe it worked on the other site, I don't know how that's going on, but it's a messed up procedure. Of course, the argument, the AIDS argument is totally flawed and disproven. I mean, because in America, first of all, the majority of Africa, maybe even certainly a lot of Africa circumcises, and there seems to be no real distinguishment between one side or the other. In America, we were the first nation, really the first world that I know of, that was a recorded record to get AIDS viruses, and we have probably still to this day. And that was weird, especially back then, for a procedure that helps prevent AIDS, considering the fact we got it before, or rather first before other first world countries, and until this day we get it more than most other first world countries, if not all of them. And the only part of the world that gets it more is Africa, and that's largely because it is currently a part of the world that is very ravaged with various issues and things being wrong with that part of the world. But it's certainly not for lack of genital mutilation. And they raised it American tax dollars. Like I have talked about this before, trying to perform that procedure while at the same time they were condemning female genital mutilation, as if to say one child's genitals, or anybody's genitals is more messed up than the other. As far as preventative surgeries go, again, and even the cosmetic issue, first of all, you do not perform cosmetic surgeries on a child. You don't give them nose jobs or breast jobs or any other fucking kind of body modification, labia apply. You don't do any of that to a child because it's a fucking child, and children are not supposed to undergo body modification surgeries. And as far as cosmetic goes, if they want it, they can at 18. As far as religious reasons go, they can at 18. If you're talking about actual that medical necessity, and that is the only real reason to do it, there's something wrong with the child's penis that can probably only be cured through male genital mutilation or circumcision, then you will just do it at whatever point they need it, whether it's 18 or 8 days old. But in that case, there was a reason, and the child will either know that when it's happening, or if he doesn't know it, you'll tell him that you'll know that there was a medical reason, as opposed to forcing something on a child for seemingly no reason, or rather mythological or religious practices, pseudo-religious practices, or for even worse than that, cosmetic reasons. And there are no hygienic reasons outside of any of that. It doesn't do much to prevent STDs. It's still circumcision is certainly no substitute to wearing a condom. And at the end of the day, really the only hygienic benefit is it makes the penis a little bit easier to wash. But even then, if you just take care of yourself and wash your junk, you'll be fine. And it's like, who the hell doesn't wash up before you have sex, or just take care of your body? As far as sexual function goes, I know some females have said they don't like foreskin when performing oral sex, but some do. And anal intercourse is, of course, easier that way. It's very hard to do without the foreskin. But the foreskin provides a gliding mechanism. It's lubricated. It makes it easier to do, and the vagina gets off easier. It's easier to do. Have vaginal intercourse. It's better for the woman because you're actually gliding in and out slower and carefully, and it's also rubbing against the clitoris, as opposed to what a lot of males do is this thrusting action when you're circumcised. It's better for the male because they have to have more sensation. It's 20,000 more nerve endings. You're removing 50% of the skin from the male penis, and it's just it's easier to masturbate that way. You don't need lubrication or anything like that. It's just a better all-around procedure. And again, the male circumcision procedure can be very dangerous. You can die from that. Between 80 to 120 children do die a year from that. 80 to 120 children in America alone die from that. If you go to Africa, where they do non-medically, even in medical clinics, we have 80 to 120 children dying in America. But when you're not taken out of the medical clinic and you have a much smaller group, like some of the tribes in Africa perform bush circumcisions or circumcisions, tribal circumcisions, in some cases, 22 children die a year from that. And we don't try to stop that like we do female circumcision. So if this seems logical to me, if you're going to be against one, you should be against the other. But I don't think any child needs to have their genitals mutilated. And I guess that's about it. Other than, as far as ear piercing goes, I just want to end it on this. I am totally and completely against ear piercing of children. I want to say that. But I do think it's a bit odd that you're already talking about ear piercing when you've not even solved the issue of actual genital mutilation yet for one of your genders. And you don't even want to really discuss it. And you're almost afraid to discuss it because you know there's no logical reason to do it. And again, if this logic doesn't apply to you, if you can't understand that, then what the hell did I do? I mean, I've just given you every reason you shouldn't do it, every reason you should to do it. The only other thing I can say is that you can think of one significant good reason to do it that can be fucking proven, and there is no reason to do it. There's nothing that proves this is a good idea. Then, hey, fine, do it, but there is nothing. So I don't see why the hell you continue to mutilate children's genitals. And I hope this fucking video takes, and I hope it's okay, and whatever. If it doesn't take, fuck it, I tried.